Hello again, this is Lila in Hawaii. I'm going to show you how I did the iron-ons for the grunge pouch that I'm showing you. I thought it'd be easier to come to the other room to where my iron is and show you how I do it, because I have one little trick. First of all, this is just ironing on a transfer onto a piece of material that is off one of those napkins that I used. And it doesn't matter what it's like around the edges, I'll decorate it later. This is not for the grunge pouch, but I'm just showing you how I do it. And it depends if you take it off hot or take it off cold. I find that if you can take it off hot, take the paper off hot, it's a lot better. And sometimes it doesn't come off completely, and I find if it doesn't, just pull on the bias and that kind of loosens it. And you'll notice that there is a little bit of a shine to that, which I don't like. So normally what I do is I take some parchment paper and I iron it, which I'll show you. So I put a piece of parchment paper down and I iron it real quick onto the parchment. Take it off real quick and see if that's worked. Sometimes you have to do it twice. It was probably too quick, too hasty. Okay, so that's that. I'm in a bit of a mess on my table. So it's getting better. Now I wanted to show you my trick for the grungy satchel. It's really a clutch. Satchel, clutch, it can be a book bag, it can be all kinds of things. But the way I did the transfer was a little bit different. First of all, I printed off onto that t-shirt transfer paper a logo that I liked, and you'll notice that it's, I don't know whether you can see that. Anyway, of course this is, oh yeah, that's showing the correct way. It's big, so I didn't want that much on there, so what I do is I cut off, let me see, where do I want it? I'm going to cut it off right there. This will be the piece that I'll use for the inside decoration, and then this will be to build up a like a patch for the outside. So it's that easy. So I'm going to just iron those and see what happens. I don't worry if they don't come out correctly. I mean, that's the look, and I'm not too frugal that I can't buy more paper. I keep a stash of it. I just use it a lot, particularly for books. And I think anywhere that you are going to get a lot of handling, it's better to have this kind of a print than the other kind, the kind that you just run through your printer, because they don't take as much wear and tear as these do. So I find these are pretty good. Okay, so it's too hot to handle, so I just flap it around a bit and then I pull it off. So that would be for the outside, and as you see, it's got some shine on. And then this one, I'm going to make a patch for the inside. This is going to be for the outside. So again, I'm going to try and take the wrinkles out. I think my parchment paper too needs refreshing. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to do one at a time. I'm going to do that one. When I say do, I mean iron. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they're a bother. Okay, so I've ironed that, and look how nice that looks. It doesn't have any shine to it. So what I'm going to do is, right now I'm just going to cut that off, and I'll fray the edges of that later. And then there's this one. The birds are sitting on a rail that I live beside a creek, and they're sitting on the rail there. That's their perch. And they just call to each other for hours and hours and hours. And if some foreign bird comes in, they chase it away, and it's their spot, and it's the same birds every day. Anyway, here we go. Let's see how this looks. Oh, good. Perfect. Look at that. Hello, this is Lilla in Hawaii. I'm going to show you kind of the basics of how I made this grain sack folder. It's actually, I would say it's like a clutch, but it's nice for a book bag. It's nice to take with you to an art show because it looks nice and arty. And it can be used for all kinds of things. I put a little lavender sachet in it, just for fun. Does make it smell nice. And I'll show you quickly how I made it, which is very easy. I happen to have this big piece, this is it, of, it's an old torchon from France. And it had, I don't know if you can even see that, but it had a stripe, sort of a reddish color stripe that's long gone, because it is extremely old. And this was the piece I had. So what I did was I decided to make it into a clutch. I didn't want to waste any. All I did was, to make this clutch, was I sewed a piece of lace, and actually it was old lace curtaining from down under, and then I had some tattered lace bits on the edge there, and I decided just leave all the edges like this, and I folded it up so that it suited me. However, I probably wanted a little bit more like that, and then I decorated it, and of course I then sewed these seams, and when I sewed them I tucked in a piece of lace like so. So it was all done in one fell swoop, and then I added a patch, which I showed you and how I do that, and then I've got this piece left over which came off this, and I will make one for the inside like that. So it has a patch on the outside and a patch on the inside, just like this one. So that's all you do, and I put a snap fastener on it. So here's the result. On the back of this there is a lot more lace, and I like that. I like the back to have something on it, and then I'm sort of put together a little collage of hydrangeas that I tea-dyed, and some muslin, and some scrim and button and a stamped N. And then on this side I sewed on some old mother of pearl buttons, and for the patch in the middle I just made a collage of netting and torn fabrics and so forth, and I left the edge. This was the edge that was already on it from some other process I've been trying, and I obviously abandoned it. And then inside it's like this, and the lace on the edge goes right down, and so you put that on at one time. As you're sewing this seam, I tucked the lace in it so it extended onto the flap like that. And of course prior to that I had sewn on the patch. There was also with a bit of scrim and a bit of fabric, and it's a nice roomy pouch. I did line it. I put muslin. Before I sewed it together I cut a piece of muslin the exact same size as this, and I stitched, when I stitched it all together I stitched the muslin as well, so that was nice. I wanted it to look kind of substantial, really, I suppose is the word. Then to continue with the sort of the old-fashioned look, I sewed on a snap like so, and I do like snaps. I just ordered a bunch from Amazon, actually. Not easy to find them in Hawaii where I live, so I just ordered some, and I'm set for a few years, I would say. They send a lot. So thanks for watching. That's how I made that, and I do like the rustic look of it. You'll find it on my website where I sell things, Etsy, and this is the lavender sachet I made, and it goes inside. It's just a little muslin sachet. And so, thanks for watching. Goodbye now.